Welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu in Focus, Iron Fighting Alliance 2. I'm your host, the master of BlackNegroJitsu, LaRoss Steffen, and today we're doing a brand new segment, first ever in Focus. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering the whole fight card. We're at the Iron Fighting Alliance 2 weigh-ins right now from PBR at Ballpark Village in St. Louis, Missouri. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be interviewing the fighters today right after they get done with weigh-ins. They're young up-and-comers, some of them in their first fight. So we're going to learn about their life. We're going to learn about them. And we're just going to talk fighting and give you probably, in a lot of cases, your introduction to a lot of these guys. If you want to get straight to your fighter or straight to your friend, family member, whoever it is, whether you're on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, whatever platform that you're on, make sure that you check below in the description box. Everything is time-stamped. Get right to the interview you want to see here at the School of BlackNegroJitsu in Focus. Just check the description box and we'll get you everything you need. But yeah, guys, video is on YouTube, BlackNegroJitsu channel. Everywhere else, we're audio only. Hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy the fights tomorrow at the American Check Center. But yeah, let's get right into this fight card, guys. Hope you enjoy all the interviews. Matt Kreutzman, welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. Glad to have you here today in Focus. 145 pounds, taking on Jake Wilyard to kick off the Iron Fighting Alliance 2 card tomorrow night in an amateur bout. I just wanted to familiarize people with you a little bit. Where are you from? What do you do? How'd you get into fighting? Is this your first fight? And what are your goals in mixed martial arts? Go ahead and familiarize everybody with you.
I started training just about 2 years ago. Had my first fight in April, won that with the triangle choke, and now I'm back trying to get another W for the record. What was another question you had? I forgot the question.
I said, how'd you get into mixed martial arts? Where'd you start training at? You can tell this guy's a rookie here, but yeah, just tell us about your background. Who the hell are you, guy? Besides the fact that you're a 145-pound amateur fighter.
I'm from here in St. Louis, Missouri. I train at JD's gym. I got into it just wanting to, working out all the time and stuff. I wanted to do something with the weightlifting and stuff and utilize the strength and endurance that I had created. So I decided this MMA and the cage fighting was a way to get down and do it.
Kreutzman, is this your first fight ever? And then what exactly, like, where do you see yourself going from here? What are your aspirations for fighting? Or have you even ever thought about it that deeply yet? I mean, you're only 23 years old. You know, where do you see yourself going from here, guy?
Well, hoping to get another W. This is my second fight, so it'll be the second win. And then as far as after this, we'll see what happens. I'll probably want to get back in there again pretty soon. I don't know that this is going to go into anything real big, but I guess you never really know at a young age and only having 2 fights under your belt. I mean, really, I haven't really thought much into the future about that yet.
Okay. How'd your weight cut go? And what do you think about your opponent, Jake Wilyard? Is he a pussy that you're going to run over? Is he a tough guy? What do you think about this guy?
The weight cut wasn't bad. I only had in about a month lose 8 pounds. So really today was the only water cut I really had to do in a sauna. As far as the fight and Jake goes, I know that he's had a lot more fights, a lot more experience in the cage at these shows and stuff. And I'm just willing to do whatever it takes to win. So if we got to stand up, I can do it there and win. If we got to go to the ground, I can win on the ground. So either way, I feel pretty comfortable. I know he's going to come out strong and hard and aggressive, and so I'm just going to have to do what I can and do what I know how to do.
All right, so you're familiar with your opponent. Now, I want you to look right in that camera. All those people that are paying $20, $30, whatever they're paying to come to Iron Fighting Alliance 2 tomorrow, tell them why you're worth the money, why they should be there early, because you're opening up the card to see Matt Kreutzman. And by the way, Matt, what's your nickname? Do you have a cool, savage nickname?
I have not gotten around to a nickname yet. We're going to get it a few fights under and then decide what a good nickname would be. I don't want to rush a nickname like that. I want to have to keep changing it up like a lot of the guys do, switching it every other week.
Okay, all right. But I want you to look in that damn camera and you tell those fans why you're worth the money, why they should show up early and get there for the opening to see Matt Kreutzman.
Well, I'm worth the money because you're going to see a real fast, aggressive fight that's going to end with a W for me.
You heard it. Matt Kreutzman, thank you for your contribution to the School of BlackNegroJitsu today. Excellent to have you, and all the best of luck in your fight against Jake Wilyard tomorrow. Jake Wilyard, welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. Earlier, I had your opponent, Matt Kreutzman, on. He sounds focused. He sounds ready. The fight is now official. I believe both you guys have weighed in. I think you did a stare down up there. I was interviewing someone else while you were doing it. 145 pounds, amateur bout. Jake, who are you, guy? Where are you from? How'd you get into fighting? Just give us a rundown, man, of your background. What you're good at. Tell us who Jake Wilyard is.
Yeah, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I got into fighting because my cousin Chad got hurt and he called me on a day notice. I took the fight and I won by decision my first fight. And my last fight, I got some. I went to sleeping. I didn't tap, and I'm looking to do better. This training, my training camp was good, and looking forward to getting the win and staying up and throwing letting my hands go instead of going to the ground like it usually has been.
So last fight, you were choked out, put to sleep. You wouldn't tap out, so you blacked out. So you went out like a man out there. In this fight, you want to keep it standing. You feel like that's your strong point. Have you been working on your jiu-jitsu and the holds in your jiu-jitsu game, or what have you been doing to address what happened in your last fight?
I give it all to Kyle Undo. My last fight, I wasn't actually 100%. My back I hurt my back like a month before the fight, but I'm not gonna take nothing from him. He's a great fighter, and I'm looking forward to I've been working my ground, staying tight, and so I don't get caught. I seen that my opponent got won by triangle choke, so I'm gonna try to stay away from the ground. And my boxing, I've been working on. I haven't really let my hands go much in the cage, so I'm thinking I'm gonna let them go tomorrow night.
All right, so you haven't let your hands go. You're thinking about letting them go tomorrow night. What are your aspirations for your mixed martial arts career? This is, of course, an amateur bout, but in the future, where do you see yourself? Are you just thinking, or have you not thought past tomorrow? Is it all about tomorrow for you? Are you thinking about the task at hand? But overall, what do you want to do in this sport? Why are you in it? Tell my enrollees out there, explain to them why Jake Wilyard, what Jake Wilyard's future holds.
Well, I got offered to go professional a couple times by Shamrock, and I didn't do it. I'm not quite ready yet. I want to get about another year or two in, and I'm not looking. I'm focused on this fight. I'm not going to overlook my opponent. You overlook him, and he's going to take advantage of that, and I'm not going to overlook him. And I'm looking to go professional within the next year, 2 years, and I just want to get a little bit more training in and get with a greater gym and go from there.
So, why should the fans? You're opening up the card tomorrow night. Why should the fans show up early? Why should they pay their $20 or $30 or whatever they're paying tomorrow night to come see Jake Wilyard versus Matt Kreutzman? Go ahead and tell us that, and then whatever shout outs you want to give or whatever trash you want to talk before the fight, go ahead and do that for me.
Yeah, you guys want to come early because I'm looking to let my hands go, and he's a great fighter. I watched his last fight. We actually fought on the first card for IFA, and I'm just looking forward to putting on a show. So just come out, get out early, and get seated, and we'll see what goes from there. And I want to give a thanks to JD and their gym, and to everybody from JD's gym that let me be on this card, and I'm looking forward to putting on a show.
Jake Wilyard, thank you for your contribution to the School of BlackNegroJitsu, and all the best of luck tomorrow night, guy. Messi, Marvin, Bowden, welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. You're going to be facing off against Aaron Kuhl at 185 pounds tomorrow night. We're here live at the IFA 2 weigh-ins. First and foremost, where'd you get this nickname Messi from? Are you a dirty guy? You not clean your room? Are you nasty? Do you have streaks in your drawers? What's going on with this nickname?
Well, Messi Marvin came from my coach, Mark McLean. He named me that after coming in one day at practice, throwing my shit down all over the place, and then getting in the cage and basically letting them rock. I mean, he saw the way that I let my hands fly. I was just like, man, you super Messi, don't got no form, but you got that power, so that's what we got to work with.
Okay, so you're super Messi Marvin. Do you Mark McLean? That's Nick McLean. Any relation? Lil Mean, Nick McLean? No.
I don't know.
I had him on. I was just wondering. But anyway, Messi Marvin. How did you get into martial arts? You said you started training with McLean, so I'm assuming that's your start. What got you interested? What sparked your passion for the martial arts in all?
Well, I've been following UFC always since Gracie. Like, martial arts always been my passion. I started off wrestling in high school, started off 8th grade, freshman year, going all the way up into my senior year, doing all varsity in high school. Just always been into competitive sports, played football. Just, I love getting down and dirty, man. I love letting them rock.
Where are you from, and where did you play football at?
Well, I'm from North St. Louis, and I played football at Sodan High School.
Okay, all right. So, okay, I'm just wondering. Okay, I played at the V when I was in high school, man. So I don't lie. I'm not down with those Sodan Tigers, man.
I mean, in my era, we beat the V, so.
Yeah, whatever, man. But that was my year. But let me ask you a question. What's your you got a bout against Aaron Kuhl tomorrow? How much do you know about him? What are your expectations for the fight? You say you like to go in and throw. I'm assuming there won't be any jiu-jitsu, judo, any wrestling techniques here from Messi Marvin. You coming to brawl. How do you see the fight playing out tomorrow?
Well, I totally see the fight playing out as me coming in wanting to throw him. He's going to feel that. He's going to want to work the clinch, want to work the ground game. I mean, if he does, I'll have something for him, but I'm looking to stand up on the feet. I mean, I'm willing to go down to the ground, but I'd rather get something nice for the crowd going on out there.
Are you afraid to go to the ground? Are you prepared to go to the ground? How would you rate your ground game? And do you think your opponent will take you to the ground?
Oh, my ground game is a 10, especially when I'm got gas in the tank. I expect him to try to wear me out before he take me to the ground, because he knows if I'm on the ground and I'm fresh and I'm good, then there's going to be a fight right there. So I'm not afraid of going to the ground. I'm actually comfortable on the ground. In high school, I was called a mat wrestler. I got my points on the ground. So.
Oh, so you got a wrestling background from high school. How well did you do in your high school career?
My high school career, in my first year, I made it 5th in districts. My second year, I was undefeated. Made it all the way to 4th in districts. My third year, I was 21-7. Made it to 4th in districts, and then my last year, I went to state at 21-3. So I was pretty good. I always won my championships. I always won I won St. Louis tournament the last 4 years that I was in high school. So.
Did you ever wrestle in college?
Oh, I had scholarships to go, but I went for football instead of wrestling in college.
What college you played football at?
Missouri State University. Played for about a semester and then left.
Y'all was getting y'all ass whooped pretty good back then. No? Yeah?
Oh yeah. That's when I found my passion in MMA. I was like, the concussion's not worth it right here.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, them Missouri State Bears was trash for a little while. I think they do it better now. But where do you see yourself going in this martial arts? You've got an excellent wrestling background, so you got a great base. Like, what are your aspirations? Of course, this is an amateur bout. Any pro aspirations? How do you see yourself doing in the future?
Well, in the future, man, I feel like I'm going to take this as far as I could take it. Like, this is what I love. This is what I love to do. This is what I make time for. And I know, you dreaming big. You got to do big things. You got to put in the effort. And I know I ain't going to go without sleep for a while, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to go as far as I can.
All right, that's what's up. Any aspirations to fight in the major organizations? How soon do you see yourself there?
Man, my dream is to make it to the UFC, but I know realistically it might take me maybe 4 or 5 years to get there. AMI. I know I'm being AMI for the next couple years, but as soon as I go pro, hopefully I make enough of an impact to go straight off.
Is this your first fight?
Oh no, this is my second fight.
All right, yeah, so you still got a good many fights to go, but with your strong wrestling background, you should be okay. Any shout outs, anybody you'd like to, anything you'd like to say, any reason why you'd like to call the fans out to IFA 2 tomorrow night, just go ahead and do that right now.
I want to take a shout out to Casey, shout out to Yoda, shout out to Trey. Man, IFA fans should come tomorrow night because it's sure to be fun, sure to be a knockout, sure to be explosive. I won't go down without a fight. I'm always going to let him rock, so everybody should come out for that.
Yoda, I'd like to give you a shout out as well. Bessie Marvin, thank you for your contribution to the school of BlackNegroJitsu tonight. Aaron Kuhl, welcome to the school of BlackNegroJitsu. You're going to be fighting Messi, Marvin Bowden at 185 pounds live tomorrow night from the American Czech Center on Iron Fighting Alliance 2. I just had the honor of speaking to Messi Marvin. Who are you, Aaron Kuhl? Where are you from? I'm hearing this is a rematch that I believe you won the first time around. This is a grudge match. Messi Marvin is coming back to mess up your life, so to speak. Tell us about your journey through the martial arts up until that last bout with Messi Marvin. I don't know if this is back-to-back, but yeah, just give us a rundown of your journey from your passion and where it first started in the martial arts up until the first Messi Marvin bout.
Yo, my name's Aaron Kuhl. I started out high school wrestling. That got me more into the grappling field of things. Joined the military as 11 Bravo Infantry. I'm a frontline soldier playing dodgeball with bullets. MMA to me is not a necessity like other fighters is. I don't care if I win or lose. I did it just to stay in shape for the military because my PT score started failing. And I wanted to overcome the fear of having or being afraid of getting into a hand-to-hand altercation of people in the field. So this is just for me to overcome my fear, get my PT score up. If I win, okay, it's all right. If I lose, all right, I'm learning. Either way, I will learn, win or lose. Because my goal is if I lose, it's going to take them 3 rounds and a decision to beat me. If I win, okay, we both get our alls in, I'm hoping for. I'd rather see us fight for 3 rounds than one of us win by knockout. I love those long fights, and then I'm learning as I go. I don't know what Marvin's plans is for his fight. I don't really care. I'm just going to hop in the ring, start swinging. I haven't trained since the last time I fought him, and he was my last fight. I'm not a serious fighter, what you'd say. I just get in there, overcome my fears, fight. So whenever the war comes to our doorstep, I'm not afraid to just, my weapon jams. What do I do now? I'm going to run up to the guy, tackle him, and start doing what I can do to hold him, while my friend either comes in and backs me up or shoots him themselves. This ain't, I'm not a pro fighter. I'm not going to be pro. It's just me staying in shape.
So this is just a thing for you to stay in shape until you, I guess, get back to military service. Where were you deployed to before? You said playing dodgeball with bullets. How old are you right now? How many times have you been deployed? And so this is just a way to stay in shape for you. Go ahead and go through your military career real quick.
I joined the military in July 26th of 2011. I graduated high school right before that. Graduated Fort Benning, Georgia, November 11th, 2011 on Veterans Day. I'm actually in the National Guard, so I stay here. I have a military unit, Charlie 2130. They've been my family since I've been in. My first year, my mom passed away at annual training. I was sent home, tried going to college for a master's in business administration, and I don't like college. So I got out of there, started finding factory job. After a while, I found this union apprenticeship. So now I'm a union carpenter apprentice. So now I'm building houses and things of that nature. But like I said, this is not, it's just me staying in shape because I'm a competitive guy when I work out. If you see me in the gym by myself, I'll be there for about an hour, kind of walking around, doing a little bit of working out. But when my friend Joey's there, who helped me get where I'm at now and in shape, if he's there, he pushed me to try this workout, and he gave me a couple workouts I do almost every day now. Even whenever he's not there, I do a series on my arms that he showed me all the workouts. So this is just another way for me to test my abilities, test my strength, see what I need to work on. I mean, I even got a bad elbow that passed since high school, and I got broken in wrestling. I mean, ligaments missing. I can put me in an armboard, that elbow's gone, but I don't care. I'm still having fun. And I haven't been deployed yet. I'm National Guard, like I said, but I want to be ready. So if I do get deployed with my buddies, my brothers in arms, which I have two of them here now, Zack HinkMan and James Smith, both of them in my unit. They came with me to the weigh-ins to support me. I want to be ready for them if we're in a dogfight, enemies come within arm's length, and our weapons jam. Because I was a saw gunner, the saws do jam every once in a while. M4 runs out of ammo. What are you gonna do? Got to drop mag and try to reload. At that time, the guy can grab you. All right, grab me. I'll hold you when my buddy shoots you. So, I mean, Marvin's probably more serious fighter than I am because he actually has a gym. I don't have a gym. I haven't had a gym since last time I fought Marvin. I just go home after I work 8 hours in the construction site, take a shower, grab some things, go to the gym, lift weights.
So, war is your mindset in the cage. This seems to be a preparation ground for real modern day combat for you. You don't have any pro aspirations. I usually ask guys, well, where do you see yourself? How many more fights do you think you have in you? How long do you see yourself this being more of a sharpening tool for your military service as you go along?
I mean, I'll fight as long as they ask me. IFA is real big on the fight for autism, things like that. I like that. I'm always supporting the underdog and things like that nature because my brother is actually deaf, half heart, one lung. So I mean, I'm big for things like that. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to explain, like, I'm not really, like, if I win, all right. If I lose, all right. But, like, you can easily ask Marvin again. After my last fight, I asked him, what do you want to drink? Are they going to buy me the Gatorade, soda, or a beer? He's 21 now. He said he didn't want anything to drink last time. So now I owe him 2 beers after this fight. I always keep my word, and all I want to do is get in there and give my best.
All right, I got to ask this question. With recent controversies concerning kneeling during national anthem, and you are an athlete here, how do you feel about that, man? As an athlete who participates in different events, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like maybe the Defense Department is using events like this as a recruiting tool? They invest a lot in events, sporting events, football games, racetrack events. It's a big part of their recruiting strategy. Or do you feel like people are fighting against the system to be pawns for war? Or do you feel like they're being disrespectful? How does that make you feel as a veteran?
In the military, a lot it's kind of 50-50. A lot of veterans take offense to the kneeling, some don't. I sign my line down to give my life up if I have to defend freedoms for people. If you want to kneel, go ahead, kneel. I'm not that type of person. I'll stand for the national anthem and kneel for God. But I was raised in a small country town of 350 people, so I was raised a lot different as you were. And if you want to go into politics, that's a whole nother podcast, because it's not like I actually have been talking to Democratic representatives in my home area. We can fix the system. We just got to take the greedy people out of the system.
Now, right now, you're talking about patriotism, I'm assuming.
Well, no, like politicians and all that get paid a lot more than we do. I mean, I'll be making over...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's where the real controversy is that the national anthem in the NFL is a paid-for event by the Defense Department, or it was. And kneeling to protest police brutality, it doesn't have any direct correlation to resisting nationalism, but it's interrupting a very pivotal point in recruiting for the military. So are you talking about that political aspect or another?
Nah, like a lot of the political issues that we have now have all started a long time ago. A lot of these politics that we're getting now started way back when, because it takes so long. But like governors, representatives, and politicians in our Senate and House Representatives, they get paid for life, I'm pretty sure, once they get in. But the president only can max out at 8 years, I think, 2 terms.
Yeah.
How come politicians can stay for life while a president can only stay for 8 years?
We probably have to do a whole nother podcast on that, Mr. Kuhl. It seems like you got a lot of well-developed ideas here. But before we get out of here, because I got a podcast on that coming up, actually. I'm trying to get together veterans, all kinds of different points, so we can have real in-depth conversation, because that's not a 2-minute conversation. This is a kind of a 2-minute feature. But any shout outs before I let you go out of here? Anything you'd like to say? Any reason why you'd like to tell the people to come out and watch you fight tomorrow night?
I would say come out not just to watch me, but watch all the other fighters. A lot of us amateurs do this for free. We don't get money from the venues. Like, we get some money back from ticket sales, but a lot of it's just us going out there, showing what we got, proving a thing. But come out and support the IFA. They're big on Fight for Autism and all the good charities that we need in this world. I mean, what else could there be to actually, if you want to invest in a good foundation, a good community, come out and see the MMA fighters. You see so much respect in a room with tingeing cut of the bird knife. But after we're done fighting, you'll see us go drink a beer together. It's just see what the world should be. I mean, people from different races, backgrounds, and ethnicities can get along inside the ring and outside the ring. This is what the world should look like and should become. People who can fight when it's needed and get along when they don't need to.
Aaron Kuhl, thank you for your contribution to the School of BlackNegroJitsu tonight, and all the best of luck tomorrow. Cody McGehee, welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. Excellent to have you here. Tomorrow, you're going to be fighting Robbie Orrin in a K1 bout. Is it amateur or pro? Amateur K1 bout.
Yep.
So it's going to be stand and bang all day. None of that hug, lay and pray type stuff. Somebody's going to get hurt in this fight, presumably. How did you get into, what's your background in fighting? I'm assuming it is kickboxing, but have you ever done any other martial arts? What got you interested in the martial arts? You told me you got a kickboxing background. How did you get into that? What's your story, man? Just tell me about your life. Give me a quick rundown.
I just grew up in like the St. Louis area, and I played like sports all through high school, middle school, all that kind of stuff, and whatever it was, basketball, football. Football was my favorite. And then after I graduated, I was too small to like move on to like go try to play at a college. Really, that wasn't going to work out for me. So eventually, I just kind of got bored and decided I wanted to pick up something else to challenge myself, and it was something I could do independently. I started out boxing and then moved into kickboxing after that. Started using the legs more after I got my movement and my hands down.
All right, so you've had a wide range of martial arts that you have tried up to this point. Tomorrow, you're going to be facing off with Robbie Orrin. Are you familiar with your opponent? Do you know anything about him? Or are you just coming here to kind of do your thing tomorrow? How do you feel about the fight? Are you nervous? How do you feel about your opponent tomorrow?
I mean, from what I know, it is both of our first fights, so I don't really know anything about him, honestly, and I'm a little nervous. I like normal nervousness, but I mean, I'm confident, and I'm just gonna go in there and do what I do and fight the way that I know I can fight, and like that's all I'm really worried about is making sure that I go out there and play my game. I know if I play my game, I'm gonna win. So.
All right, is this your first kickboxing bout, or is this one of many? And what are your aspirations for your overall career? Do you see any mixed martial arts bouts past this, or would you like to continue in the sport of kickboxing?
No, this is my first real like amateur boxing match or kickboxing. It's obviously kickboxing. This is my first match ever. And after this, I'm just gonna keep training, and I'm just gonna keep getting better, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. I mean, with the whole kickboxing thing, I mean, I do it for fun. If I get into learning stuff on the ground, then I'll learn stuff on the ground, and I'll move into doing maybe more MMA. But right now, I enjoy standing up. I enjoy sitting there and trading off, and like I said, I do this for fun. I work and go to school, so this is my escape.
Will there be any hot chicks from the SIUE campus coming to see you? Friends, family members? Will you be extra motivated because the hot chicks that are coming to see you this weekend?
I mean, my girlfriend will be there, so she'll be there. She's actually pregnant, and the baby is due November 4th. I got a little boy coming, so hopefully she makes it through Saturday night at least, so that way I don't have to worry about her being in the hospital. But yeah, she'll be there. My dad and my stepmom will be there. My little sister's coming in from up in Pennsylvania going to school. They'll all be there supporting me, and like I said, I'm gonna go out there and do what I do, and that's all I need.
So we got a girlfriend and a baby on the way, so the family will be here. in the world and soon to be in the world. All the best of luck tomorrow, Cody. But before we leave, why should the fans pay their $20 or $30 to see you? And what do you have to say to the world out here, or at least the ones that tune in, all of our enrollees at the School of Black Negro Jitsu? Go ahead and say what you got to say, talk your trash, whatever. Give your shout outs. It's your time right now.
Man, like I said, especially with this is K1. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna go back and forth, and that's what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be exciting to watch. Like, there's nothing not exciting about sitting there trading off, throwing kicks back and forth, and it is what it is. I mean, what else better do you got to do than watch people go beat themselves up for fun? I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. That's worth all the money in the world. And the only thing else I got to say, like I said before, is I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm confident that if I do that, I'm gonna win, and that's all I need.
Cody McGehee, thank you for your contribution to the School of Black Negro Jitsu.
Thank you, man.
Zack HinkMan, welcome to the School of Black Negro Jitsu. You're going to be taking on Matt Boy tomorrow night, 170 pounds, American Czech Center, Iron Fighting Alliance 2. Go ahead and give us your journey through the martial arts up to this point. Who you are, where you're from. Nobody knows who you are. It's an amateur bout. Just tell us about yourself, your journey up to this point, your fight career. Yeah, just take us up to this point in mixed martial arts from Zack HinkMan's career.
All right, so back down in Texas is where I started my mixed martial art journey. I trained under the Thompson family, which Pitch Black, and then RCJ Machado Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's where I started, fought for 3 years, and then I moved up here and started getting my own thing going, and now I'm ready to get back in the cage. I've been off for a couple years, but I've steadily kept training the entire time, so now I was lucky. I have my brother to help me out for this camp, along with one of my good friends, Erwin, so I mean, I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to get back into it. I feel a lot more mature, and I'm ready to see how that's going to affect my fight game, you know? I'm ready to throw some crazy shit.
So, you say you trained under one of the Machados down in Texas. Which one? How long were you down there in Texas training at that gym? Very interesting.
I trained out of the BJJ Academy, Machado BJJ in the Colony under Michael Maley, and Carlos Machado was my basically a brother to me. He was a great man. They all are, the entire Machado family, man. They are a whole different kind of love of jiu-jitsu and a huge inspiration to everyone in mixed martial arts, along with the Thompson family, you know, Stephen Wonderboy and all those guys.
So, you are a, what is your rank in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at this point? How successful have you been in tournaments and everything? I don't even, belt rank doesn't always matter, but you've been training, where do you train here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now? And you said you knew the Thompson family. How did you meet them?
Actually, Stephen Thompson's brother, Evan Thompson, was my kickboxing and striking instructor and MMA instructor down there. He worked with Mr. Maley down at that the Colony Gym under Machado. And I only got up to my 4-stripe white belt before I moved here. But I have won a tournament. It was just my first tournament. It was a great time, you know. I didn't know a lot back then, so it was more just kind of muscling the guy. But I'm really excited to kind of show some flashy stuff in the cage tomorrow. And then, so yeah, I've flown up once to train with them actually over at Pitch Black, over with, what's his name? Stephen Thompson, Evan Thompson, and then their dad, Ray Thompson. They're great people.
All right, so you're bringing a very well-developed jiu-jitsu game into the cage tomorrow. You've got kickboxing background, and I believe you said 3-0 record up to this point, right?
No, I am 2-3.
2-3. Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
2-3. So, how do you see this fight going tomorrow? What do you know about your opponent? What are you looking to showcase tomorrow night?
This is a question everyone waits for, right? All right, so Max, I've seen one video on him. He's a big, stout dude. You know, I've never ran into really anyone in the cage that I have to worry about strength-wise. So I'm excited because I know with like his background, he's gonna want to like go ahead and like bang it out and come forward. Because you know I want to put on a big O show. Like I'm coming with some exciting striking. If it gets on the ground, just don't blink. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we don't know when it's gonna end. This guy's gonna come out hard, and so am I. So if we meet in the middle, it might be over pretty quick.
What camp have you been training out here? What Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym? I don't know if I missed it or not, but I don't think so.
Here's the great thing about it. I train over at JD's gym, and I work with them as well, but I actually have been doing my own training camp for this. I have my brother, Chase HinkMan, who's been helping me out. He'll actually be in my corner, and then one of my best buds that I've been training as well, Erwin, who's back there hiding from everybody. So I'm excited, man. Like, I'm not going to back down for this. It's going to be a hell of a show.
Now, how did you pull off, or where did you get the idea to hold your own training camp, being yet so inexperienced, if I might say?
I love the sport, and I ain't scared of it, man. The challenge is going to be awesome, so this is just going to let me know if I can keep going on with the sport, man. Like I said, tomorrow, I'm ready, dude. We're going to throw.
So do you feel like this is a do-or-die moment in your career? Like, if you don't do right now, that you're done, or where do you see, what's your future in mixed martial arts, and what does this fight mean for your future? Is this a Zack HinkMan leaves town match here?
That's a really good question. I've been thinking a lot about that kind of circumstance right now because I have been blessed, and I have a little one on the way. So we all want to do right by then. So depending on how this goes, I feel like the love for the sport will always be there, and it is there more than ever. So this fight's really going to let me know that if I go through and this is a great fight and I feel like I can keep doing this and then go ahead, maybe get a couple more Amis in before I go pro, I would love to do that. But it really just, I'm going to take it one step at a time, not going to look past this fight. I know this guy's going to be one hell of a challenge, and that's what I'm looking forward to because I know that's what all you guys want to see. You don't want to see these lazy fights. We want to get exciting and fucking knock some people out.
Zack HinkMan, thank you for your contribution to the School of Black Negro Jitsu. If you have any shout-outs or anything extra you'd like to say tonight, go ahead and do that right now.
All right. First shout-outs, definitely got to be with my training group. Like I said, they knew nothing before this camp, and now they've just been helping me more than a lot of people have. I got my little brother, Chase HinkMan, and then my buddy, Erwin. Also, I want to give a big shout-out to the place of employment, PBR, for letting us hold the weigh-ins in and everything. And then JD's Gym. You guys are always welcoming and an amazing staff, and you guys work with everybody that comes in there. So other than that, man, here's to everyone that enjoys mixed martial arts and likes to see everyone stand up and bang, because tomorrow that's what I'm definitely going to do.
Zack HinkMan, it was a pleasure to have you on the School of Black Negro Jitsu tonight, and we are out. Aaron Lake, welcome to School of Black Negro Jitsu. It is excellent to have you here today. You'll be fighting Aaron Clark on IFA 2 tomorrow night, live from the American Check Center at 160 pounds, like I've asked everybody else. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you get into mixed martial arts? Why? What led you up to this point? Give us your journey here, and what sparked your passion for martial arts up until this fight right now. Go ahead and take us through it, Mr. Lake.
Oh, for sure. All right, well, like I said, my name's Aaron Lake, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. What really started my journey, I would have to say, is actually pretty funny. As a kid, I always told my mom, I would either be an NFL player or I would be a UFC star. And I played 1 year of college football. And
where did you play college football at?
It was at a small school in Iowa, Briarcliff University. It's in IA, bro.
All right, so my first college was Iowa State, and I was medically ineligible to play. And I went to Truman. My last place was Mizzou. So
you played at Mizzou?
Yeah, always good to have a college football player on. So those are the 3 colleges I played at. No, I didn't play no nose guard. I played linebacker.
Oh, okay, for real?
Yeah, and so always good to have a college football player on. But you played a small college in Iowa. Which college was it again?
Briarcliff University.
Okay.
Sioux City.
So where'd you play in high school?
Parkway North.
Parkway North. That's the Vikings?
Yep.
Home of Aaron O'Neal, right?
Correct. And Donovan Newsom, he just got drafted to, he actually free agent. He just got sent to the 49ers.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, football background, go ahead and keep taking us through it there.
I was at Briarcliff University for a year, and a friend of mine, he actually got into a fight with his roommate, threw all of his roommate's stuff out in the hall, and I knew that he couldn't fight. So at that moment, I was like, God, I'm gonna have to help you fight this do. At the time, I was a little bigger. I was about 190. The other guy was about 250. So him and my friend ended up fighting, and he got the best of him, and I ended up having to get on top of him and just, can I curse? Okay, I ended up getting on top of him and beating the shit out of him. You know, and everybody just looked. It was a whole bunch of people. They just were looking at me like, what the hell? So after that, I mean, he had looked at me the next day. He was like, dude, because I told him about, something I may think about trying. And he was like, you really should try that. He was like, whether you know it or not, you, hit really, really hard for a little dude. And ever since then, I mean, I that's how I began, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a real, real long journey, because starting off, I mean, I've never really been consistent in anything that I've done. Even in football, I just was decent, I guess, because I was black. That's me keeping it real. I mean, I was all right. But I didn't put in no work. But for this, I really put in some work.
All right, so basically your fight career got started off in a dorm fight.
Yeah.
Straight up, so you're a street fighter at your base. How have you been preparing for these real martial arts competitions? What has your training been like? Where is the base of your training at? What's been your focuses in training? How have you been transforming from the superstar dorm hall fighter into the well-rounded mixed martial artist that you've undoubtedly become at this point?
About a year ago, I had ran into a guy named Andrew Ebers, and he's a black belt jiu-jitsu. I was training at JW's, at the JW Rice at the time, in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and I rolled with him. And he was like, you really should come check out my gym, Wolf's Den. At this time, I just left SEMO, so I was back in St. Louis, and at the time, I actually was going to St. Charles MMA. So when he told me that, at the time, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll check your gym out. Just not really, listening, for real, to be honest with you. But about a couple months passed, and I decided to leave St. Charles MMA. I took no fights with them. I just was there training. I just got back, so I didn't know where I wanted to go. So I scheduled my own fight. I had my own fight scheduled, and I needed a place to go. And I was like, I remember that dude. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu. Let me go check out his gym. So I went down there, and he actually remembered me and everything. And from there, it was I just began training, and I trained with some of the best people in St. Louis. I trained with Andrew Ebers. I trained with Sean Woodson. My manager and coach, even friend, Drew Ingrayes. I can't pronounce his last name. Ingrayes or something like that. He's Mexican or something. But he's another, just a really good dude who's been helping me. I started at their gym 0-2. But they believed in me, saw my potential. I knew I had potential. I just needed people there to back me up, help support me. And that's what they've been. And with them helping me, I don't know where I'm going to go with this,
Now, so you train out at the Wolves Den, I believe.
Yeah.
Said you train out at St. Charles for a while. How many amateur fights have you had? What's your record? And where do you see yourself going from here? Like, what's your goal? Where do you want to be in 5 years? What's your? I know I was just talking to Aaron Kuhl. He told me he doesn't even give a shit about fighting. He wants to prepare for combat, stay in shape for PT. I guess sometimes that is what amateur fighting is just about. Something to do. Why are you doing it? What's your aspirations in the long run? And or are you just looking forward to this next fight against Aaron Clark? Yeah.
My record is 3-2 right now. 4-2 after tomorrow. And what I want to do with it, I'm gonna win this fight tomorrow. I actually have a title fight at 145 in November, and I plan to take that, and then I plan on ending the year off 5-2, and then I'm gonna begin training for nationals. Is what my coaches are gonna get me and some of my other teammates ready for.
Is it just national?
No, it's for some type of MMA, we qualify. If you qualify for it, then you actually get a trip to Australia. Yeah, so I'm gonna begin training for that. But
I just had a fighter from Australia, Abu Dhabi Combat Championships, Craig Jones from Australia. He almost medaled. Yeah, he almost bronze medaled at the Abu Dhabi Combat Championships. He did submit Chael Sonnen. So I've had 2 Australians on my podcast, him and Damian Brown, Beat Down Brown. So all right, go ahead.
Nice. But long run, I mean, to be straight up with you, I'll be thinking about that myself all the time, because I'll be thinking, man, you working so hard at this. Like, what do you really want out of it? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I'm just gonna see where it's gonna take me. You know, sometimes you just don't know where you. I never thought I'd end up be doing this and honestly be good at it. Like I said, I wasn't good at football, really, but I wasn't, bro. But I actually legit see talent in this. You know, I see it, other people see it, and I don't know how far I can go with it. I'm just gonna push it until I see how far it can take me.
And how do you feel about your opponent tomorrow night, Aaron Clark? Do you know anything about him, or are you just ready to fight?
I don't know much about him. No bad blood against him, you know, no bad words to him. I don't know him, but when we get in the cage tomorrow, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I wish him the best of luck. So he better come to fight. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Mr. Lake. Go ahead and whatever shout-outs you got to do, go ahead and give us those right now.
All right, I just want to shout out my whole team at the Wolves Den. You know, like I was naming them off, Andrew Everest, Drew, Austin, Sean, all of y'all, you know, Sam, everybody down there, everybody at the Wolves Den. We grind. You know, that's what we do. And we're actually, just now, he's only been open for 2 years. To give us another 2 years, and we're going to be big. Just watch.
Aaron Lake, thank you for your contribution to the School of BlackNegroJitsu tonight. And we're out of here, man. Oh. Richard Jones, welcome to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. You're going to be fighting Kyle Ondo in a 145-pound bout tomorrow night on Iron Fighting Alliance 2. Go ahead and tell us how you got into mixed martial arts, where you from. Damn, you just found out about this fight Tuesday. I mean, this is super short notice. You're severely underweight. Well, not severely underweight, but you're even coming in this fight underweight at 139 pounds, so you didn't even have to cut. You just coming in to whip butt, you know. Richard, tell us about who you are, where you from, how you got into mixed martial arts. Yeah, give us your background.
All right, so I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I got into mixed martial arts kind of watching it as a kid and seeing it, you know, on TV, things like that. And then, you know, I grew up in a children's home, so, you know, we had to fend for ourselves. So self-defense was, you know, top key. 33 years old. I have 4 children. I'm a happy dad, very happy. I love spending time with them, and I really like to fight as a joy, as a hobby, as you can see why I took this fight. So, you know, it's a passion that I have that's real, real deep.
Okay, now where did you start training at? Is this your first fight ever? This is an amateur bout, like all the bouts on this card. Like, what's your favorite aspect of the mixed martial arts?
No, I've had a lot. I've had quite a few. Well, I wouldn't say quite a few, but a couple fights, MMA and K1.
What's your record?
Terrible. It's terrible. You know why it's terrible? Let me tell you why it's terrible.
Why is it terrible?
Because, you know, when you're first starting off, you know, finding the right gym, it's the process I'm going through. And that's what a lot of people have to go through. So some of us, unfortunately, have to take learning lessons. And I used a lot of my matches for experience, you know. And I did see myself improve an awful lot. So, you know, I found a gym home. I was going to MCS for a little bit. And, you know, trying to do the best I could training, you know, being, you know, a full-time worker and then a father on top of that. So, you know, I pretty much trained every day to myself and went to the gym to, you know, pick up some skills and techniques and everything. So it's more like a Ryu, traveling warrior.
So at this point, basically, Richard, you are a journeyman fighter.
That's the
path that you've chosen to go down. And that's not a bad path in mixed martial arts, because really that's kind of what everybody is. It is an interesting journey. Although you may be a specialist in one area, if you had a high level of amateur accomplishment, you are undoubtedly very amateur in other areas, and that leaves you vulnerable for defeat. So you're a journeyman fighter who's working through the kinks out in the amateur ranks. Now, you said you trained at one gym. What gym have you found your home in? And what's your favorite aspect of the martial arts at this point that you found in training?
Okay. Well, currently, I went to AOC a couple times, and I really like them. They're very comfortable. They're all the way out in Wentzville, so, it's getting to travel together, to be able to be consistent going to the gym, so that way I can keep sharp. And, I can't, as one friend told me, you can't make your shield in battle. You got to, make it outside of battle, then come in with it. So I'm really learning. I really like the mental part of martial arts. How it strengthens your mind, your body, and everything. It allows me to walk through society very, very humble and very respectful to everything that's around me, because it's a sense of respect that I feel you only learn through fighting somebody.
Martial arts are all about humility, respect, growth as a human being, development. I think it's excellent for rehabilitation of any human being, or just development of the humility of any human being. But you're fighting Kyle Ondo tomorrow night. I saw him fight on Iron Fighting Alliance 1, and I believe he was victorious and impressive in his performance. How familiar are you with your opponent? How do you see this fight going? And what do you want to accomplish during the fight? What's your favorite aspect of fighting to employ in the cage? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, striking. Got a boxing background? A lot of black guys like us do. Grew up around 12th and Park, Wold Center, all that kind of stuff. Right. So what's your favorite aspect of the martial arts?
Mine's would be the striking, of course. I don't know too much about Kyle, but he did go against, I believe it was Jake Wilyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was victorious in him. He got the submission. I heard he fought in Gateway against Rodney Cotton also. I heard he's an extremely tall fellow compared to I am. So, it's like a David and Goliath match. So, he's very tough, very resilient. I'm just going to have to find some holes.
So you say you gotta kind of play it by ear when you get there.
Make it as I go.
Do you feel like what's your mentality in fighting? Is it tap out or blackout? I mean, blackout rather than tap out. Are you going out on your shield? Or are you more of an intelligent, calculated guy in the cage? What can we expect to see from you tomorrow?
What you can expect from me is IDGF. I'm going in, and it's a short notice fight. I didn't have a training camp, but like I said, it's going to be an experience thing, and to actually go out there, I got some stuff to get off my chest and leave in the ring, flat out in life. You know what I'm saying? Some of it, and it's the only legal way you can probably get it off.
So you got to take out a lot of those frustrations from those 4 kids and that job on this guy Kyle Ondo tomorrow night.
Yes, absolutely, and a couple frustrations down the line. You know what it is. You understand it. Just, yeah, amen. Got it right there. Perfect.
So, all right, Richard, where do you see yourself going in mixed martial arts for you? I know you described yourself as a journeyman. Do you ever have aspirations of fighting in a pro fight? Yeah, man, what is your vision for your fight career?
Okay. Well, my vision for my fight, I do plan on going pro. I understand that you can turn pro anytime, but, the amateur is a good time to find, smooth all of that out so that there's no mistakes in the pro, so that I can maybe, start off with a 10-0 record. I know that's speaking an awful lot, but that's how committed I am. So I'm going to make all my mistakes in Miami, learn from them, adjust, adapt, and get better.
It's great to hear. I wish you all the best of luck in that. Thank you for your contribution to the School of Black Negro Jitsu today. What I want you to do now, though, if you got any shout-outs, you got anything to say. If you got anything to say to those people, tell them why they should come out tomorrow night and watch you fight. Go ahead and give me that now.
All right. Well, I like to say a shout out to every last person that's been in my corner that has left. I don't even have to say no names. You already know who you are when you feel it in your chest when I tell you this. What people can come out and see tomorrow is a guy that's filled with humility, honor, that can bring the, the things to martial arts that people kind of overlook. Yeah, you can be tough. Yeah, you can be strong. Yeah, you can be fast. But, there's a humility and things, and meeting great people. You meet really great people who put themselves on the line, and they put their dedication on the line, and a lot of people don't understand that, take that for granted. But when you're a fighter, there's a lot of things that you don't. You witness it, and you hold it to heart, and everything around you more precious. So,
once again, Richard Jones, thank you for your contribution to the School of Black Negro Jitsu. Jarret Levette, welcome to the School of Black Negro Jitsu. Excellent to have you here. You're going to be featured in a 170-pound bout on the main card against Nathan Stearnes tomorrow. Get everybody familiarized with your background. How did you get into mixed martial arts? Where are you from? How old are you? Just tell us who the hell you are real quick, man.
I'm Jarret Levette. I've been fighting since 18. My cousin got me started in fighting. I'm from Danville, Illinois. 3-hour drive, 3 long hour without eating. I'm ready to do this. Be a hell of a fight.
How exactly did you get started with mixed martial arts? You told me you had a bit of a wrestling background. You're about 14-5, I believe, right now, in complete record. You've got a lot of professional fights under your belt. What are your aspirations? Why did you get into this? And where do you see yourself going?
I hope it's gonna be a hell of a fight. And after this, I hope I get more through iron more fights, keep going, so I could go pro and eventually down the road.
And his opponent, Wilyard.
That's all.
All right, yeah, I'm sorry, weigh-in is kind of interrupting us. But so you want to continue your professional career? Do you have any organization you aspire to fight in? Anywhere where you got your eye on right now? I mean, or do you just want to win this next fight versus Nathan Stearnes?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight. I mean, it's gonna be war. We both was talking shit on Facebook to each other. It's gonna be war in the fight, so let's do it.
How you see the fight finishing?
He wants to knock my ass out, but not happening. So
say not happening. Jarret Levette, thank you for your contribution to the School of Black Negro Jitsu today. Any shout outs or anything, or anything you got to say to the people out there in internet land? Go ahead and say it now. Forever hold your peace.
Bring 217 to Missouri. Let's do it.
Nathan Stearnes, welcome to the School of Black Negro Jitsu. It is excellent to have you here today. You'll be taking on Jarret Levette, who we just had on earlier in the co-main event of the evening. Like all the fighters here, I'm asking tonight, who the hell are you? Where are you from? And how'd you get into mixed martial arts? So tell me your story, and then tell me, all the way leading up to this fight, basically.
I guess I'll go ahead and tell you where I'm from. I'm from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and actually the way I started MMA is actually kind of the way other people might have started back when they were little kids too, is actually park fights. Believe it or not, I saw UFC. At first I thought it was pretty boring. They were on the ground, they were fighting, and I was like, this is boring, so I turned around and saw some boxing. A couple weeks later, I saw them strike, and I was like, oh, okay, this is different, this is pretty good. I started watching some shows, talking to a friend in my school. He was like, hey, I'll hook you up with a fight if you want to fight somewhere. I was like, where? In a park. I was like, okay. I mean, it was another sport. I'm athletic. I like sports. I've never really fought in my life before. I was bullied during elementary school, and I got beat up a lot, so I always loved martial arts, so believe it or not, kind of ironic, but I never actually joined a place to train. So I was like, let's see what happens. So I kind of started watching some YouTube videos and just get a little basic understanding of it. And then I actually fought 3 guys in one day with just UFC gloves on, you know, the old whatever people do nowadays, UFC in parks and stuff. But from that early beginning, the humble beginning, I actually beat all 3 people on the same day. Only took 1 punch during all 3 fights, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing actually pretty good at this. So I started getting a little bit more dedicated to it, and I started actually learning more. And as the years progressed,
Now, how did you start learning? Did you enroll in a gym here? Like, what gym did you start training out of, or who did you start training with, or did you just get into like high school wrestling or whatever? How did you start to really grow from a park fighter, Kimbo Slice, the very white version, to now, you know, a real martial artist? How did you start to develop and adapt to this situation?
well, at first my favorite sport was football, but then football kind of died on me, and I ended up joining wrestling my junior year of high school. And that's where it really started taking place, and my dedication really grew. And I knew that what I wanted to do with my life was become a successful professional mixed martial artist. And then from there, I just trained at other gyms. I trained at Chinese Kempo. I'm a green belt. Actually, I'm eligible for my brown belt whenever I test for it. And I'm also a 4-stripe white belt in Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I got some pretty good experience on both stand-up, the transition game with my wrestling, and on the ground with my Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, and so you're a 4-stripe white belt. How long have you been training your jiu-jitsu? Yeah.
Off and on, I started training back after my first cage fight with Kempo and Jiu-Jitsu back in 2014. But like I said, it was off and on. So 3 years later, I'm still a 4-stripe white belt.
All right, I understand. All that belt stuff isn't the most important thing. But tomorrow night, you going from the park to the co-main event of a major regional show here at the American Czech Center in St. Louis, Missouri. What do you think of your opponent? How do you see the fight going? What are you looking to do? How do you feel? We just after the weigh-ins. I mean, how is everything? What are you expecting? What's on your mind? Yeah, give us a rundown.
I honestly think my opponent's really blessed to have this opportunity to face a guy like me. Everybody knows me in St. Louis MMA. Last year, I came up with the 2016 St. Louis Amateur MMA Fighter of the Year, and this guy is only 0-3 amateur, and I'm 7-3. So he's really an ineligible fighter to fight me, and he should be blessed to get this opportunity to fight on a show like Iron Fight Alliance in such a high category, such as co-main, or it could be a main event tomorrow, as I heard just now recently.
So you feel like this guy basically, he's a stepping stone, he's a can. You feel like Iron Fighting Alliance brought him in here to make Nathan Stearnes look good?
I asked for, usually I fight 155, so I asked to step up to 170, and I'm kind of new to 170, so I was like, give me an opponent that's not top tier. Well, little do I know, I kind of got the bottom barrel with the 7-3 guy, but I will give him some credit. He is 6'2". I've never fought a guy with so much range on me. So I told myself he's been choked out 3 times so far, and everybody knows me for my ground game. So as a martial artist, I wanted to challenge myself against Jarret tomorrow night. I told him I'd knock him out, promise. Whenever I wanted to, really, but more precisely by the end of the first or second round. And to test myself, I said I would just strike with him, basically. And I'm going to show everybody why my mentality, why I grind so hard. You have to live a lifestyle like I live to compete against people like me. And this guy doesn't live the same lifestyle. He hasn't fought since 2012. He's 0-3. He's not the same caliber fighter I am. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I got the confidence in my skills and abilities to throw it on there, and I will take the risks all in my name, and I'll show off tomorrow night and show that's true.
Man, that's the most confident fighter I've heard yet. Nathan, do you have any shout-outs or anything you'd like to give out right now? I haven't heard anybody with this much confidence and poise on the whole card. And then also, where do you see yourself going in this sport? So before you do the shout-outs, what are your aspirations overall in this sport? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 3 years? You know, where does Nathan Stearnes see his future? Or you just focus on Jarret Levette tomorrow night in the co-main event?
In 2 to 3 years, I'm turning pro next year for sure. But my ultimate goal is getting the Bellator title, sitting on top of the throne, multiple belts around me, getting ready for those photo shoots. That's my ultimate goal. That's my ultimate vision. And just become the best martial artist I can. being a role model for other people that have dreams and have the same grind and determination that I have. You know, working 2 jobs and trying to pay all the bills and still trying to keep up with your fitness, it takes a lot of toll on your body, but when your mind really wants something, your body will follow suit. And if it doesn't, then, you know, you won't get it.
That's awesome. You said photo shoot. Were you trying to be a model or something like that?
No, I just mean when I get all them Bellator belts and I have them around me and on a throne, they'll be doing a photo shoot with that for sure. And just to show off my success from my hard determination grind over the years. That's all. A little bit of luxury.
So, any shout outs, babies, mamas, any hot chicks coming out to the fight tomorrow to see you? Yeah, do that right now. Your mama, your granny. Go ahead.
First off, shout out to all the enemy chicks out there. I love you. Nathan likes you. You are loved. I'll be there tomorrow night. Hopefully you are too. Anyways, a shout out also to Academy of Courage. That's the place I hope to train when I actually move here. Shout out to all my friends that's helped me and supported me over the years, whether good or bad relationships now. Ace Aronson, Kane Royer. There's just so many other people to name, and right now I'm just focused on, you know, thank you for you too for interviewing me.
Nathan Stearnes, thank you for your contribution to the School of BlackNegroJitsu. It's excellent to have you here. My best interview of the night so far, and I wish you all the best of luck against Jarret Levette tomorrow night, guy.